Shalom, back with part 3. Let's continue here. All right. The optimistic assessment is that this is meant to intimidate Ukraine, said Michael Kaufman, a senior research scientist in a CNA research group based in Virginia. The pessimistic assessment, which I think is a lower probability, but nonetheless very worth considering, is that Russia actually is spoiling for a fight, that they're looking to bait the Ukraine into miscalculation. All right? Russia and the Ukraine have been locked in conflict since 2014, when Russia annexed Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula and began supporting separatists in the country's east. That war rumbled on ever since, costing some 14,000 lives despite the series of shaky ceasefires. All right, but since March, experts say that they are witnessing something new. Russia has started sending thousands of troops, tanks, artillery, and other units to Crimea and regions along its 1,200-mile land border with Ukraine, according to Western governments and independent experts who monitor these maneuvers. All right? The Russian troops number 40,000 in Crimea, another 40,000 in other regions along the border. Adula Mendel, spokeswoman for the Ukraine president, Vladimir Zelensky, said Monday, given that the Russian military has an estimate 800,000 to 900,000 troops, that would be approximately 10% of the Russian military's total manpower. According to Rob Lee, a former U.S. Marine, now tracks military deployments at the Department of War Studies at King's College in London. Russia says these movements are training missions, Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said Tuesday, but experts say they don't fit the usual pattern for these war games. Russian military officials haven't provided the usual level of detail or forewarning. They are deliberately leaving their intentions ambiguous here, he said. Meanwhile, the fragile ceasefires that's kept Dublin's conflict at a simmer has deteriorated, with more than 30 Ukrainian soldiers killed already this year, compared to 49 in 2020, the Ukraine says. In response, the U.S. European Command has raised its threat level to the highest available, the New York Times reported, and is planning to send 2 warships to the Black Sea, according to Turkey, which controls the passage into it. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby declined to comment on both these actions at recent briefing. If Russia acts recklessly, Blinken told NBC News, Meet the Press Sunday, there will be consequences. After meeting Blinken on Tuesday, the Ukraine Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said Russian buildup is taking place not only along the border of Ukraine, but along the border of the democratic world. All right? The problem for these allies is that it is still unclear what Russia is trying to do, much less how the West might be able to respond. The force assembled is large and heavy and could go deep and do some ugly stuff to the Ukraine, said Vladimir Fokolov, a former Russian diplomat. Is that Russia intends to do? Is that what Russia intends to do? I think an honest answer to your question would be, I have no idea, he said. Russia says it is free to move troops internally however it likes. Russia has never been a threat to anyone, nor does not pose any threat. Putin's spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, told reporters Monday, the Kremlin has tried to turn the narrative on its head, accusing the U.S. and NATO of being the ones responsible for raising the temperature. And that is a true statement, people, all right? It is America that has been the bully here, all right? And NATO, the Edomite beast system, all right, and the EU nations. There is also absolutely nothing for the American ships to be doing near our shores. Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Rabakov told Russian Newswire he warned the United States that it will be better for them to stay far away from Crimea and our Black Sea coast. It will be for their own good. Rabakov referred the U.S. as an adversary See that? A word the U.S. uses to describe Russia, but a clear shift from Russia's preferred term partner when referring to the U.S. Many experts believe the Russian military offensive is not impossible, but unlikely. It will be costly for Putin, and it's unclear what he would gain. The buildup has been slow and ostentatious, whereas a genuine invasion would be rapid and more covert. More likely, according to these observers, is that Russia is attempting to intimidate Ukraine, perhaps to gain leverage in stall peace talks over the Donbass conflict. Putin is also sending a message to Biden and the Ukraine European allies, according to Fabrice Portier, all right, consulting senior fellow at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, a London think tank. Biden has deployed harsher rhetoric toward Putin compared with President Donald Trump. And last month, the U.S. announced $125 million in military aid to the Ukraine. Meanwhile, the Ukraine is renewing calls to join NATO, something the alliance promised in 2008, but is vehemently opposed by Russia. Putin is testing what President Biden's Russia-Ukraine policy is really made of, said Portier. NATO's former head of policy planning. Is the U.S. willing to go as far as providing either indirect or direct military support to the Ukraine forces? Basically, is the U.S. willing to go into some kind of escalation with Russia? There you go. And that's the end of the article, people. All right, let's move on. You know what? Let's go to the second Ezra. All right. Give me a minute. All right, this is second Ezra. All right, 4:28 and 29. As concerning the things whereof thou asked me, I will tell thee, for evil is sown. Right? But the destruction thereof is not yet come, but it's coming, people. Right? Again, you have to wait for it, and it shall not tarry. All right? It may seem like it's delayed. So be it, but it will still come. All right? As we read over there in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. All right? Wait for it, because it shall surely come. All right? It will not tarry. All right? If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, right? This evil has to be put out, right? And if the place where evil is sown is not passed away, then it cannot come that is sown with good. So you see, you have to understand that war has to take place. There has to be a cleansing. Evil has to be put out, all right, in order for truth to reign. Okay? Pretty much, as we read in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, around the 27, 28 verses there. All right? That evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. All right? And the truth that has been so long, without fruit shall be declared. Well, that can only happen through what? Through Armageddon. The Battle of World War III. You understand that? This is how we're going to have peace on the earth, when the Israelites, under Yahweh Shai, okay, are going to reign, the everlasting kingdom. You understand that? All right? All right, let's jump to Isaiah, the 24th chapter. All right, to close out. Let's go over there. All right, I'm going to start here from the top and read on down. Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, right? Now, he flooded the earth once and destroying it. This time he's going to use fire. Why? Because fire purifies. Okay? That's why. It's a cleansing agent. You understand? And Edom has what? Put chemtrails in the air. All right? Lead, poison, the water. Okay? GMO foods. I believe you people get the picture. All right? He's destroyed this earth. And like it reads in Revelations 11:18. He shall destroy, them that destroy the earth. Okay? Remember, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom, and he shall destroy it off the face of the earth. All right, Amos 9 and 8. Okay, you understand that, people? Okay. All right, so this time he's going to use fire, that thermonuclear fire from the ICBMs, plus that concentrated laser fire from the chariots, all right? So, and he maketh it waste, and turneth upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. You see that? He turneth things upside down. We just got through reading that, right? Over there in 2nd Ezra 4, 28, 29, right? Things have to be turned upside down, right? Okay, because that's what Esau did. He turned this world into an anti-Messiah system. You understand that? Under his reign, all right? Remember, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. You understand that? And that was by default because, we broke the law, statutes, and commandments, the Israelites. That's how they got it. You understand that? You understand, people? All right? It was by default. All right? But it wasn't meant that that's the way it's going to stay. All right? All right? That wasn't permanent. Okay? All right? That was temporary. Okay? Because the Israelites do have an inheritance and a blessing. The other nations do have to bow down to us. Do you understand that? And that's going to happen now in the kingdom. Okay? When Yahushua returns. And he subdues these nations and puts them into captivity. You understand? All right. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, and as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord Yahweh has spoken this word. You understand that? The earth mourneth, it fadeth away, and the earth is in mourning, is it not? Again, what is that? Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Well, the Israelites are not in authority, right? Yahushua hasn't returned yet. Okay, so the righteous are not in authority yet. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Is not the earth in mourning? Yes, it is. Mourning, lamentations, and woe. Okay, which basically mean the same thing. All right, when you go look that up. All right, so the earth mourneth and fadeth away. You see, the earth is passing away right before your eyes. And what has the Lord told you? He's told you, not to love this world. Okay, for he that loveth the world, then the love of the Father is not in him. And this world is passing away. And you read this over there, what is that? John, from 2:15 down to 2:17, I believe. All right. The lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, it all passes away. All right. It's all passing away before your eyes. All right. So the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languishes and fadeth away, and the haughty people of the earth do languish. And the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws. You see that? And remember, the laws are still in effect. What is that, Matthew's? What is that? Matthew's what? 5 and 17, I believe, something like that. I have not come to destroy, the law nor the prophets. You understand that, people? And again, there are precepts that back that stuff up, all right? So you have all these false prophets out here telling you that the law was done away with. No, it was not done away with. The Old Testament was not done away with, all right? You understand that? The laws are in effect. And we're in a grace period right now, all right? We broke, us Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans that make up 12 tribes, we broke the first covenant, all right? And we won't be under the second till we get our new bodies, all right? You understand that? All right. All right. Give me a minute. All right. Change of ordinance. This man You read that in Daniel chapter 7. He seek to change the times and laws and broken the everlasting covenant. Like I says, we broke it. We won't be under the second one till we get our new bodies, and we'll have the law, statutes, and commandment placed into our hearts. All right? Anyway, I'm going to end this here. I'm out. I'm on to the next one. Shalom.